What's up, guys? It's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Doomz deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play that I've included all sorts of spicy tech cards in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 2 copies of Drastia. This card is an amazing 2-of in the build, but you only need 2 copies of it because it's so easy to get to. This card has the ability you can actually target a Doomz card you control and destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Then equip one equip spell from your deck to this card, which is a really powerful ability to equip any equip spell that you want to this card. Also, while this card is equipped with an equip card, quick effect, you can actually special summon a Wind Machine XZ monster from your extra with the same rank as this card's level. And if you do, attach this card and its equipped cards to that monster as a material, and it's treated as an XZ summon, which is a really powerful effect to help us go for the exact XZ monster that we need. We then play 3 copies of Doomz 5. This card is basically the Stratos of the deck, that if it's normal or special summon or destroyed by a card effect, you can actually add a Doomz monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. We then play 3 copies of Doomz 7. Doomz 7 is great as a 3-of as well because this card has the effect that if it's normal or special summon or destroyed by a card effect, you can actually set a Doomz spell or trap directly from your deck, which is an incredible effect to help us get to the exact card that we need. We then play 2 copies of the Power Patron Doomz. This card is really cool as a 2-of in the build, but you only need 2 copies of this card because we can easily get to their copy of Medius to Pure. When this card has the ability that it cannot be, or you cannot special summon from the extract except for XZ monsters, which is not that big of a deal because that's mainly what we go for in this deck. This card also has the ability you can only use each of the following effects card once per turn, and you can actually target one other effect monster you control and then special summon from your extract a Doomz XZ monster or a copy of Jupiter the Power Patron of Destruction with the same rank as the monster's level, which is a really cool ability to be able to instantly bring out a card to your side of the field by using that monster as a material, and it's treated as an XZ summon, which is a really cool ability. And also, if you do, you equip this card you control to that monster as an equip spell, which is a really powerful ability to get a monster equipped to one of your other monsters. Also, if this card is destroyed, you can actually add a Doomz card from your deck to your hand, which is an extremely powerful effect to help us search the exact card that we need. We then play 3 copies of Medius to Pure. Medius to Pure is really good as a 3-of in the build, and basically the new Albaz of this lore. And this card has the ability if it's normal or special summon, you can actually add to your hand or special summon a Power Patron monster directly from your deck, which we're always summoning out our copy of our Doomz Power Patron to be able to actually use our Doomz Power Patron to summon out a rank 4 using Medius to Pure, which is so cool. This card also has the ability, if this card's in the graveyard, you can shuffle one monster from your hand or face from field in the deck, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. We then play 3 copies of Imseti. Imseti is really good to be able to play as a 3-of because the Horus engine is so good in this deck to help us actually make our rank 8 plays. Because this card has the ability you can send this card and another card from your hand to the graveyard to add your copy of King Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand and draw a card, which is amazing. And when you have King Sarcophagus on your side of the field, you can summon your Horus monsters back out of the graveyard. We play a single copy of Happy. Happy is really good as a 1-of in the build, just used as a second Horus name in the build, so we can summon out 2 level 8s to our side of the field and go in for a rank 8 play. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of in the build to basically just help us stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Fluros. Fluros is really cool as a 3-of in the build to basically just help us dig in the deck for the exact card that we need. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of 7th Tachyon. 7th Tachyon is really good as a 1-of in the build to basically just use this card to search out Medius the Pure. But the reason we're only playing a single copy of this card is we can actually search this card off our copy of Divine Golden Shadow Dragon, which is so cool. This card can actually search out Tachyon cards to be able to actually search out our copy of 7 Tachyon directly from our deck to our hand, which is such a powerful effect, meaning you only need a single copy of 7 Tachyon. And my single copy of the Angelic Ring. This card is amazing because it's actually a spell negate, making this card a really cool 1-of in the deck. And like a single copy of Dogmatic Eclism. This card is really cool as a 1-of in the build to basically just help us summon out our copy of Shadow Winda. Because this card has an insane effect that if it's sent to the graveyard, because the equipped monster is destroyed, you can actually send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, which helps us send our copy of Pokemon to the graveyard so we can search out our copy of Shadow Schism, set it to our side of the field, then activate it, and go in for a copy of Winda, which is absolutely amazing. This card is so good in the deck and helps us set up a copy of Winda, which is so cool. We then play 2 copies of Doomdirge. Doomdirge is really cool as a 2-of in the deck, and I absolutely love this card as an equipped spell because this card has the ability once per turn during the standby phase, inflict 500 points of damage to the controller of the equipped monster. And a Doomz monster equipped with this card or a Wind Machine XZ monster that has this card as a material gains the following effects. That your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and once per turn, quick effect, you can activate this effect to destroy one other face-up card you control. Also, for the rest of the turn, this card gains attack equal to its own rank times 100, and it can attack directly, and if it battles, destroy it at the end of the damage step, helping you swing in for game. We then play 2 copies of King Sarcophagus. King Sarcophagus is really cool as a 2-of in the build just to use with our Horus engine so we can get more of our Horus monsters on our side of the field so we can summon out our rank 8 monsters. But these are so cool in the deck, but you only need 2 copies of this card because your copy of Imseti can search it. We then play 3 copies of Theorealize. This card is really good as a 3-of in the build because this card helps us send our copy of Medius the Pure from our deck to the graveyard and also look at the top card of our opponent's deck and then place it on top or bottom of deck, which is a really cool ability to help us get our copy of Medius the Pure into the graveyard so we can summon it back to our side of the field and go full combo, but this card is so important for the build. We then play 3 copies of Doomz Raiders. Doomz Raiders is really important for the build because this card has the ability during the main phase you can actually destroy one other Doomz card in your hand or face on the field, and then add a card or add to your hand or special summon a Doomz monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon the X deck for the rest of the turn except for XZ monsters, which is totally fine. Also, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can actually target a face-up monster on the field and destroy it, which is an amazing ability to be able to use, but this card is so good to help us get the exact Doomz monster we want on our side of the field, while also being able to use this card to pop our Doomz cards. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Doomz Destruction. Doomz Destruction is really cool as a 1-of in the build because this card has the ability to actually target a Doomz XZ monster control and equip this card to it with the following effect. The cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, essentially turning one of our monsters into a Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is absolutely crazy. Also, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can actually target a face-up monster on the field and equip a Doomz monster from your deck to it as an equip spell, which is a really powerful ability. And lay a single copy of Shadow Schism. Shadow Schism is really cool in the deck as a 1-of because it's so easy to get to with our copy of a Pokemon, so we can step into a copy of Winda and essentially lock down the board. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in the build to basically just stop our opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Doomz End. Doomz End is really cool to be able to summon in this deck because this card is an amazing effect. And this card has the ability that the first time this card would be destroyed by battle or by card effect each turn, it is not destroyed. Also, if this card is XZ summon, you can equip one other face-up monster on the field to this card as an equip spell, which is a really powerful ability to just instantly equip a card to this card. Also, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or in the graveyard quick effect, you can detach a material on this card to negate that effect. Then, you can actually equip a face-up monster opponent controls to this card as an equip spell, which is a really powerful ability to be able to use. We then play 2 copies of Doomz Break. Doomz Break is really good as a 2-0 in the build, and actually what we go into using our copy of our Power Patron and Media Superior. This card also has the ability, if this card is special summon, you can destroy one Doomz card in your hand or face on the field. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, while it has a Doomz monster or Media Superior as a material, which it will, you can actually take an equip spell from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard, which is a really powerful ability. We then play a single copy of Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction. This card has such incredible artwork and it's such an OTK machine. This card is really easy to make in this deck and a really cool card to be able to summon out to your side of the field with the ability that once per turn you can also XZ summon this card by using one monster that you control equipped with 3 or more equip cards, and you transfer the materials to this card. And also, if this card is XZ summoned, you can actually equip any number of equip spells from your graveyard to this card, and also this card has the ability to gain 3,000 attack while it has an XZ monster as a material, which it always will, pushing this card all the way up to 6,500. Also, once per turn, you can detach and turn this card to special summon a Doomz monster from the graveyard, then destroy a card on the field. We play a single copy of the Divine Golden Shadow Dragon. This card is amazing as a 1-of in the build because this card actually helps us make our copy of our number 38, but it also has a really cool ability to instantly search out our copy of 7 Tachyon, which is so cool. We play a single copy of number 38. Number 38 is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is actually a spell negate that we can easily make with our copy of our Divine Golden Shadow Dragon. We play a single copy of number 90. Number 90 is a monster negate, which when I play this card is a 1-of in the build. Play a single copy of Star Seraph Sentry. This card is really cool to be able to reveal in our extract with our copy of 7 Tachyon, so we can actually search out Media Superior as they're actually both fairies. Play a single copy of Zeus just to board wipe the field just in case we need to. One copy of Typhon. Typhon is amazing in this deck to be able to use because this card is actually a skill drain for 3,000 attack point monsters and a bounce. Play a single copy of Apocalypse. Apocalypse is really important in the build to be able to send to the graveyard so you can actually search out Schism and then step into a copy of Winda. Winda is awesome because it makes it so both players can only special summon once per turn, and it's very easy to go into and play around our restrictions that lock us into XZ summoning for the turn, as we can use Schism to summon this card during the opponent's turn, which is so cool to be able to do. Play a single copy of Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. This card is really cool to be able to summon because this card only requires a monster that actually is in the back row, which is absolutely insane because it must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending 2 face-up monster cards from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, which is ridiculously easy to do in this deck. This card also has the ability, if this card is special summon, you can actually target one face-up monster on the field and place that monster face-up in the spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell, which is really cool. And a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is just a really good double interruption and just such a powerful card to be able to play. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Doomz deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's so much fun to be able to play. Because you can summon out all sorts of insane XZ monsters like Jupiter, which is absolutely insane. Plus, it's really cool that it's a part of the actual Medius lore. So, that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.